another clickbaity title, but oh, I'm seeing you guys really liking this one. So let's analyze this the power of words, right? Just like the power of if you label someone your value, interest, equal spousal partner for all of life, your V-spell, instead of just a wife or a girlfriend. Big difference, right? So just the same as death, if we're calling it leaving this body, then that's way different, right? It's it's like boosting, I call it. Leaving the body when it no longer serves you. That's what I want you guys to be thinking about. Boosting. Okay? The body is not who we are. People through out-of-body experiences, past life regression therapy, they are able to look at their body from the sky and know that that's not who they are. So the first thing that you did wrong is you were consumed by Maya. You thought that it was all real. You thought that it was realer than you, pure consciousness, the unified field of light, the Alpha and the Omega, the inexplicable thing that happened before everything else. That's you. So how dare you think you're less significant in scale than all that is? How dare you think that you're just a 6 foot, 180 pound human being? You're more than the mountains, and you animate everything. You make all of the physics and chemistry work in the universe. You most importantly, you chose to break and allocate your consciousness into separate realms of perception, ergo the body, so that you could experience, and then you even created the dark side of life, the bad, so that there was a reference point to see, hey, that's bad, this is good, I'm going to aim for the good. Excuse me. So the good is that which sustains, that which is sustainable, which perpetuates into the future of existence, which creates a functional family unit, and then and is a manifestation of real love and truth. And so the truth that I'm at is even with the knowledge that we're going to eventually leave this body, and things are imperfect in this world, and things can flip over. For example, I could, for trying to defend, someone, I could go to prison for 5 years for, attacking someone even though they were the bad guy, So, but even if stuff like that happens, or, I break an arm or something, it doesn't matter, because I worship God as V. So the instant, it's kind of like when they say the instant it's like how they say, if you discover Jesus, you're saved, right? That's what they say, right? It's the same thing. It's when you discover vulva, you're saved. You're saved. You're free. You're free. And And what I'm trying to say with, what if I did leave this body today? Well, I would want to. I would want people to remember me as being not only a fun, guy that's full of life, who always likes to look at people and pay attention to people and, be present with people. I would also be one to look at as a guy who invented Shield Heart, which is a method for establishing more personal agency and authority and sovereignty in one's own life. And the way you do that is by first becoming your own final authority. By saying that I want to have absolute control over my life, because you can't be happy unless you feel like your life's under your own control. That's why there's always these weird, unhappy dynamics between parents and children, because that's not a legitimate, loving relationship. It's a submissive and dominant relationship, and it's work. That's why I think of kids as clients, and I think of parents as male guardians or female guardians. That's how I see them. And it's like, what's the point of living unless you're your own final authority? Just the same, what's the point of living if you're physically or mentally encumbered or damaged? Like, if you're physically damaged and you can, here's my benchmark for whether or not a person should be humanely put down so that they can leave their body and experience a new body. And that's a big part of it. Like, think about it. If all society believed in reincarnation, it would be a complete change of the way we operated. We would be more inclined to, if someone's born with mental illness or significant handicap, put them down so that they can reincarnate into another body. Like, fucking, where do you think people keep coming from? They keep coming, right? So that means there's an unlimited amount. And the only way there can be an unlimited amount is if that is God, if that is who we are, if we are all that is, if it is consciousness. Like, these are questions that even the religious mind is hesitant to delve into. Like the question of, well, if God invented everything, who invented God? And where did everything come from? Almost found these fundamental and disturbing questions, right? Now, what I want to do is look at death again. So we changed the word death from leaving the body, and then putting down the criminally insane people rather than jailing them for life makes sense, instead of having to burden society of why would you feed these bad people? We have hungry children, people who deserve goodness, right? So, yeah, that being said, I'm gonna get more into this idea of I call it boosting. Boosting is a conscious letting go of the body. It's different from an older couple where often the husband, because men seem to die a little younger, and plus most men are like 5 or 10 years older than roughly 5 years older than their wife, because because it makes sense mathematically. Like the woman, needs to start having children if she wants to at a younger age, and then the the man needs to Who are you, single viewer? There's like always one person always tuned in here. Fucking at least declare your presence of who you are. It's almost like, don't you value what I'm doing? I know you gave it a like, but if you want to be present with me to this degree, this is valuable. This is stuff that I learned the hard way, right? So I expect a little more presence. Maybe a contribution. You can email me, and you could send me $10, or you could at least make some comments to start comments in the chat. And you do know you're fucking anonymous, so all the comment, you can say what you want. All right, but in any case, this process of letting go has to do with different factors. It has to do with knowing who we are. If you don't know who you are, do some magic mushrooms. I've never done that because I've already discovered it. I already know it. I'm not afraid. I know that I'm not this body. And and so back to what I was saying about the spouse, right? The husband. When right, so do you really want your wife to be alone after you die? No. And the way we resolve that is by the man letting go, right? And then the woman what does the woman do after that? The man lets go. No. The man helps the woman boost. So I would think they're good. Here's my ideal vision. So and by the way, I think people should generally only travel when they're older, because because I just think that the most important thing that people can do is create a stable society, and then let me think here. Create a stable society, and have children. I mean, obviously it's a gray area. Every person would be different, but generally, okay, so what we're talking about is at the end of life, I want the husband to help the wife humanely let go, like as if she's on her deathbed, but it should be a conscious thing. It shouldn't be like having to die because you're old and decrepit in a, retirement home, quote unquote. No, that doesn't work for me. To me, that's unloving. And I want to exist in love. That's the frequency that I want to operate at. And it's not loving to desperately try to hold on. You know what I mean? Like, we want to... Fear is thinking that okay, fear is thinking that it's not okay to let go, and that you should fight every last chance to live in that same body. Like, it's so contrary to who we are as the fucking universe. We are the universe. And people saying that they're not God. People saying that they're not part of God and that they need to go to a heaven in order to experience that. It's such a deviation from reality. Now, and so today we move forward into a new life, and you join me into this new paradigm of not worrying about, oh, come on, man. Not worrying about if we do end up dying, because but at the same time, this doesn't mean that you don't. See, here's another big problem. People don't worry about their health because they're like, I'm going to live together happily in heaven. But what they fucking don't consider is that heaven is a worse place than earth. Because first of all, heaven's not real. Okay, you can't live and enjoy life if you're in heaven, because there's no such thing as good unless there is the potential for evil and bad. So heaven is literally it's a mathematical impossibility, because you can't perceive good without there being evil or the possibility of it. All right? Okay, continuing on, right? All right, I'm about needing to wrap up here. Arriving at a job site, I'm installing some vinyl plank flooring, the stuff that you use that plastic block and you call into place. So that'll be a little fun. And then once I'm on the road to my next job, I need to dump a dump load. I need to dump a dump load. I'm gonna go do that. But for now, let's try to wrap up. So again, no such thing as death. We are the origin and the creation and the actual substance of all life, and that which animates it. It's inextricably tied to itself, the universe, and we get to be love. All right, we get to be pure.